We haven't recorded in a week.
Yeah.
And
your Christmas tree's gone.
There was
your
a Christmas tree
tree's
there.
gone. Christmas tree's gone.
Jerk store.
Do you want a medal for
Taking down your Christmas tree?
Yes.
Yeah. That's
We took ours down on New Year's Day.
We took it down on New Year's Day.
Right. Yeah.
Look at me. I have a family with a spouse who helps with things. I'm so
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
Yep.
My daughter helped too.
Oh.
That's adorable.
Ain't that sweet?
I got to take the ornaments off the tree and she put them in the box.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 635 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, January 8th, 2019. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Morning.
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 It's like 9 p.m. where you are. Are you saying
true.
morning?
It's just for next. It's for the next day.
I say, oh,
Just getting ahead of myself.
Just the people who are listening to this in the morning on Tuesday. Now they've got their morning brain.
Yeah.
He's using the actual schedule.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's the power of myth.
Yeah.
You know,
Live to
Yeah.
tape. CJ's live to tape.
he's creating the illusion.
The illusion that it's
Yeah.
morning. Okay.
Yeah.
Illusion of competency.
That also.
And with us from the great state of Washington, Mr. Filthy Bald. Hello.
Hey there, dudes. How you doing?
Hey there, Blimpy boy.
How was your New Year's?
Just grand.
Uneventful.
Grant, you didn't do anything, just like it's like me.
No. I mean, you know, we
Went to bed
stayed
early.
up. No, I stayed up till midnight, and the kids stayed up and watched.
Yeah.
The kids stayed up and watched TV right until midnight. They all made it till midnight.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
my daughter
10
too.
minutes later, they were in bed. But it was funny because we were watching. We watched a little bit of New Year's Rockin' Eve. We
Okay.
turned it on just in time to see the New Kids on the Block perform,
Really?
which was amazing. In all the ways you'd expect it to be.
Oh.
And
I don't know what ways I would expect.
Yeah, what are those ways?
because they're just playing anthems of our youth, man. You can all sit here and pretend you didn't listen to New Kids on the Block, but you did.
I actually didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I really didn't. My sister was very into the New Kids on the Block, but I know they did the oh the Right Stuff song.
You sound like somebody who's pretending they don't know New Kids on the Block.
Yeah,
CJ, do you know any New Kids on the Block?
just that one.
Anyway,
Marky Mark was a new kid on
Marky
the block,
Mark and
right?
the Funky Bunch. I know
no,
more.
Marky Mark was not a New Kid on the Block.
What?
His brother was
Oh.
a New Kid on the Block,
Oh, okay.
who's now married to Jenny McCarthy, which was actually the point of the story I was telling.
Marky Mark's brother or
Yes.
Marky Mark?
Not Mark Wahlberg, but the other Wahlberg.
Okay.
That was in New Kids on the
Donnie.
Block. Donnie.
Okay.
Oh, look, I don't know anything about New Kids on the Block.
I didn't know Marky Mark's brother's name.
That's hilarious. Oh, you mean Donnie? He just
right.
got an NKOTB wallet.
Yeah, please
know he does.
excuse me for a second. I have to take some CDs off my shelf back
Yeah,
there.
no, I genuinely. If we're talking Spice Girls, yes,
That was
very
hilarious.
familiar with the Spice Girls, but I do not know anything about New Kids or
That was amazing.
Justin Timberlake was in NSYNC, right? Or was he
I
a Backstreet Boy?
No.
He was on the Mickey Mouse Club
Was he?
I don't know which boy band.
with Britney
He was
Spears.
he was in NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys. He was one of those.
I want to say it was
Yeah.
NSYNC because I don't think he was in the Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
I love that we're talking about boy bands.
And the only Backstreet Boys song is and the only actually the
Backstreet's Back.
Backstreet's Back All
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's the
And
one
that-
I know.
And you know what? That's the only part of that song I know.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
probably more to
same.
that song than just Backstreet's Back All Right.
I have a One Direction song on my Spotify list.
Oh, see that I know absolutely nothing about.
and
Same here.
my knowledge of that group is literally that one song, which is Steal My Girl is called.
Okay.
And anyway, whenever it comes on, my oldest daughter It's like, why do you have a One Direction song on Spotify?
It's a solid question.
And I can't really defend myself
from the mouths of babes.
But there's some, I don't know what it was. There was something they were going through. Oh, I know what it was. So one of her cousins, who's a couple years older than her, we were over there visiting Christmas, and as happens, we get given a bag of hand-me-down stuff as we're leaving. Because again, they're almost the same size. She's just a couple years older. But this also had a bunch of books and stuff in it, and apparently she was a One Direction fan at one point.
Okay.
So Cameron's going through all this stuff and books and cards and everything. She comes up with like a little mini One Direction. It's not a poster, but it's just like almost like a baseball, like a collectible card or something.
Okay.
And with no sense of irony or sarcasm or anything like that, Cameron turns to me, hands it to me, and says, "You'll want this." Why do I want this? I don't want this.
You know why.
But you love One Direction.
You know why.
I don't.
You know why.
Yeah, one song. Anyway.
One
no.
song.
So the whole point
and
of
a half dozen different mixes. Remixes.
Well, yeah. Daddy Gotta Dance.
Acoustic version.
The acoustic version. So anyway, the point I was making is that we watched New Year's Rockin' Eve for a few minutes, and I happened to my aunt was here with us, and I turned to her and because Jenny McCarthy was talking, it's like I can't leave this on. I can't stand her, especially with all the anti-vax crap,
right?
That she spews, But of course, I turned and said, "I can't stand her. I want to change the channel." Besides which, they're an hour behind us anyway, so it didn't make any sense. And and my kids are like, "Well, why don't you like her?" And so we got into this big anti-vaccination discussion with a bunch of children. It was interesting.
Kids, do you know how you are not dying?
Right.
Do you know how you are alive?
Those needles you hate to get.
Yeah.
Anyway. That was really the point of my story, but I love that it turned into a boy band discussion. That's why I come to this show. That's why I listen to this show.
So we don't have cable anymore, and I found that finding like a New Year's countdown thing that's being streamed like on YouTube is actually incredibly hard.
Yeah.
And the Rockin' Eve show was on NBC News.
I was going to say they weren't streaming Rockin' Eve.
They were streaming parts of it, but not all of it. It was very weird, and they didn't have any commercial breaks. So during the commercial breaks, what would happen is they'd just show shots of the crowd, which is a little...
Yeah, that's what they do.
But
they're going to show shots of the host picking their noses. Like, what are they?
Is it still called Rockin' Eve, even though Dick Clark is long dead?
It's still called Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Yes, it's
branded with his name.
Yeah, it's.
I'm waiting for the CG Dick Clark character to show up.
Who's the guy who actually hosts it now?
That is Ryan Seacrest.
Right. So I think it's like Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve presented by Ryan Seacrest or something along those lines.
King Kong.
It should be Ryan Seacrest wearing a Dick Clark death mask. Yeah.
It puts the lotion on itself.
Well, that's not how the line goes.
I don't really care.
On its skin.
I don't really care, Phil.
On its skin, Greg. Or else, Greg
gets the hose again.
Gets the hose again.
You know what?
No.
Buffalo Bill is a big fan of words that kind of almost rhyme. Skin and again.
Anyway, I was surprised there weren't more like live countdown shows
fat lady
on YouTube. There weren't more streaming like countdowns.
Oh, really?
Surprised.
I'm sorry.
You should be sorry. You should be very sorry, Phil.
It'll just be Dick Clark's head in a jar at some point in the near future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on, so we're not going to do it.
Clearly, it's a slow news.
I think this is one of the greatest
world of video.
One of the greatest starts to the show we've had in a while.
When we spend a good 10 minutes talking about
boy bands,
talking about boy bands for a while longer.
And boy bands. And look at that Toe Jam and Earl mug there that Greg's taking a sippy sip out of. Oh,
that's a nice one.
Where's that? Was that like a
Kickstarter?
That was a Kickstarter reward, huh?
Yep.
Not bad.
Yeah,
not bad at all.
Switch your platforms. You don't have to.
No, I left it on PC.
Oh, you left it on PC.
Yeah.
Okay. I changed mine to Switch.
And
PS4.
Oh, I
got two copies.
Twofer.
I had two copies.
You got the double Deuce.
Double deuce. All
CJ
right.
dropping a double deuce.
So why don't we just head right into what you've been playing?
Oh boy.
I think I'm being called by one of my children. So
Oh
start with
boy.
Phil.
Okay.
Jeez, yeah.
Sure. Phil, you want to kick us off?
I'm just sitting here waiting for the lead in there, CJ. I'm just.
You want to kick us off, Phil?
I guess I do. Haven't been playing much this week.
Either, actually. Go ahead.
It's been kind of a slow week. Although, you know what I did? I did over the holidays. For Christmas, I was gifted a gift card for Amazon.com.
I'm familiar with the website.
Yeah, it's a website you can get on your computer these days.
Netscape Navigator?
Well, if you tell you what, if you head over to AltaVista and type in the search window Amazon dot, and you can spell that out. You can just use the dot button on your keypad. Com, which is short for communication websites, and that will lead you right there. It will take you right there, and you can purchase things. I used my Amazon gift card to purchase a PlayStation card. So I just took my fake currency and turned it into different fake currency.
Yeah.
And then I used that fake currency.
My God, I was only gone for a minute. Are we talking about microtransactions?
No.
We're talking about obfuscated spend.
Oh, okay, good.
No, I'm talking about what I used my my Amazon gift card to purchase. Yes. Okay. And I purchased on the PlayStation Store Earth Defense Force 5. The recently released Earth Defense Force 5.
Is that this one right here that's on my little fan that I have?
No.
Is it? It's not Iron Rain or whatever.
I don't think so.
Shown recently. Anyway, okay.
No, I think that's the next one that's coming out.
The next one. Okay.
Yeah. Did you just have that loaded there?
Why did you have that there?
Excuse me. I'm just gonna fan myself here.
Why? Well, I know.
Well, it's got Earth Defense Force on this side, and then of course, since it was a Tokyo Game Show.
What's on the flip? What's on the flip? Anime girl.
Anime girls.
Anime girls.
Speaking of which, are you watching High Score Girl?
No, but I've heard interesting things about that. It's on Netflix, right? It is anime about 90s arcade.
I learned more about Street Fighter 2 and Final Fight than I ever knew.
Really?
In the first episode. It's not more than I ever knew, but I learned something interesting about both of them.
Is it good? Is it a good show?
What'd you learn?
Yeah. I learned about...
Did you know that M. Bison is called Vega in Japan?
I did know that, yes.
Yeah. Did you know that Balrog in Japan...
This is going to be fun. We'll just let Phil go for a while.
...is known as Blanca?
Yes.
The Spanish
That's not true.
ninja? Yeah.
That's not... That one's
But you made that one up.
Well, that's the real trick. You have to... Can you deduce...
Vega.
Can you deduce the lie?
There was something about... The thing about Final Fight, it was some kind of... it was like some kind of high score technique that I'd never heard of before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I couldn't tell you exactly what it is because I watched it like 1 a.m. I was like, that's interesting. And then I went to sleep. But, anyway, you should watch it. I liked it. I mean, I don't watch anime anymore, really. And I watched an episode of that. Ben Rivers turned me onto it. Mm-hmm. But the show that he turned me onto as well that was way more interesting to me was Tidying Up with Marie Kondo.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That was awesome.
I haven't heard enough about this in the past 3 days.
And Netflix is pushing it super hard.
Well,
I don't blame them.
Every person on Twitter is going on about it. So
really?
Yeah, they were talking about it on the Sea of Thieves stream I was watching last night.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
CJ doesn't even remember, but somebody actually mentioned it.
I blame Evil Monkey.
Here's a good way to tidy up. Throw out your copy of Sea of Thieves.
But mine's digital.
Well, they just throw out the whole system then. There you go. I've cleared up some space.
Okay. What were we talking about? We were talking about Earth Defense.
I was talking about EDF.
This was way more interesting.
And it kind of is. Now, EDF, I love EDF. I love
EDF.
I do love EDF. I love John Ants.
Yeah.
And I was playing playing some of that game, and I will tell you what, I don't know if that game has a higher difficulty setting than usual, or if I just suddenly suck at EDF games. But I got to like the 6th stage and just getting my hinder handed to me time and again. I'm considering dumbing it down to easy difficulty just to get through it. As you get to this part where there's a giant mothership. There's not even ants in this level. It's not even a bug level.
That's not an EDF game. This game's posing.
The rest of the levels had bugs.
Clearly, you've never played an EDF game.
I played part of one. That was enough.
Yeah, there you go. There's always levels where you're fighting little spaceships and that sort of thing. So you got the giant mothership hovering, and it's just dumping dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of these little spaceships down at you, and they're just shooting every which way. And I get a few waves in and finally succumb to their charms and lose. So I think I might have to drop it down in difficulty, because I didn't even get to the part where the frogs show up. There's giant
frogs.
This is the one. Yeah, this game has giant bipedal frogs in the game. So I really want to get to that, but yeah, I love EDF. Although this one, for some reason, like the first couple stages are treated like tutorial stages, which it's like, this is EDF 5. Yeah, I think there's been like little kind of like half games in between. So it's been a lot of EDF games. So if you're playing EDF 5, you probably don't need a tutorial.
But you might.
But there's a couple levels where it's just kind of slowly plodding through empty bases and stuff, and it's kind of a slow start to EDF. Which the whole point of EDF is just dump you into a city and throw hundreds of bugs at you, give you a rocket launcher, and have fun.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's EDF. I love EDF. So
apparently.
That's it.
Okay.
I also, I pre-ordered Ace Combat 7, which comes out in
PS4
2 weeks. I pre-ordered the PlayStation 4 version.
Excited to play that in VR?
Well, yeah, because it's the whole game is not VR. It turns out it's
just a mission.
I think it's like 3 missions.
That's too bad.
Yeah, but it's supposedly like a couple 2-3 hours of VR content.
Well, that's pretty good then. Okay,
so I'm looking forward to it.
Does it play Danger Zone, Highway to the Danger Zone the whole time?
Now that'd be awesome.
for like on a loop for 3 hours?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't believe you understand how good that song is.
I have
probably just turn the game music off, put headphones underneath your over-ear.
Well, it's a PlayStation, so you can probably just put your Kenny Loggins CD right into the drive while you're playing the game.
Oh, I able to Spotify.
I have no need for that when why fly into the danger zone in a jet fighter when you could be flying into the city in a Jefferson Starship?
Phil,
so I know what I would be listening to.
Do you need a hero? Are you holding out for a hero?
I'm holding out for one, yeah.
But did you have to build the city?
Well, yeah. Luckily,
rock and roll. That's all he had to work with.
There was a solid foundation upon which I could build it. Now, granted, it was just another Monday.
Were you knee deep in the hoopla? Or
I was.
Mike Phillips' head is exploding somewhere, and I'm okay with all of this.
Yeah.
I was listening to that on the radio.
It's a great song.
And you know who invented the radio?
Who?
It was Marconi. Marconi.
Yep.
Big fan of the Mamba.
Yep. Big fan. Yep.
Yeah. He was listening to that as he built his radio. Boy, there's nothing to talk about this week, is there?
Oh man, I'm really enjoying this.
You know what?
I really was not looking forward to talking to you two jokers, but now this has been 17 minutes of gold.
Yeah, Player One Podcast Gaiden, where we're not actually talking about video games this week.
What are we going to do at the after show?
Bleeding viewers.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what.
What?
I'll tell you what. I'm stoked about Ace Combat 7. I like the Ace Combat games.
Yeah,
they're weird
good.
and they're fun.
Solid games.
And I saw they have a flight stick coming out.
God.
Shit.
And
oh shit.
I will say I put it on my Amazon wish list, but it's $200. So
When has that ever stopped you?
Well, that's
tell everyone what you wasted money on this week, Phil.
You mean my book?
Yeah,
my new book. Okay, first of all, it's literature. You don't waste money.
It's a waste of money.
Literature.
It's literature.
Is it mostly pictures?
Well, it certainly has pictures.
Okay.
90%
pictures?
No. It's and you know what? It's not only is it literature, it's educational. picked up a history textbook right here. History.
What?
History and Life.
The World and Its People.
The World and Its People.
Why?
Second edition. Oh, are you not privy to this, CJ? Did
yes,
you not?
No,
I've not heard the story. I've not heard the story.
You didn't see my Twitter tweet about this?
No, he's got you blocked.
Yeah.
This is that's a smart move. This is a history textbook. Like a
Lego in it. Is it just Lego?
It does not have Lego. No, this is a real history textbook about real historical history.
I'm waiting for the punchline here.
Oh, there's no punchline. This is valuable resource. This has
about toys.
Some of the most excellent historical figures.
And for some reason, it has a chapter on Stretch Armstrong.
No, this is the book, my dear friend Christopher, that two most non heinous dudes used.
Oh shit.
On their
You're kidding me.
Most excellent adventure through time.
If you're watching this on YouTube, what you're looking at is a picture of a man who has too much money.
Yeah. This is the textbook that Bill S. Preston, Esquire, and Ted Theodore Logan brought with them as they traveled through history, collecting the most excellent historical dudes.
How much did you spend on that?
This was $7 shipped.
Oh, I thought you said it was like $30.
So it's not a prop textbook. It was a real prop. It was a real textbook.
This is an actual high school history textbook
from 1980.
1984 is actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, Bill and Ted came out in 88, 89.
Yeah, something like
that. I want to say 88. But yeah, the actual history textbook is 84. So some of that's probably outdated.
That looks in pretty good condition too.
Well, it is. I mean, considering, yeah. So yeah.
Was it previously owned by somebody who had it just because it was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
You know what? It's got stamps all over the inside front cover. This says here,
a library book.
Property. Oh no, you know what it was? Property of the Milwaukee Public Schools.
Would have been better if it was property of San Dimas.
Shit.
Property of San Dimas.
Property of Milwaukee Public Schools, Washington High School. Here's where there's trouble.
It's unlawful to transfer.
Yeah, you're not allowed to own that.
Not to be sold or traded.
Oh,
return.
And once again, the podcast just became evidence.
Return
once again.
Oh my!
You better return that.
This is bad news for Phil.
$7 though. I probably would have done that.
Why?
$7.
What is wrong with you two?
It's a prop from a movie.
It's not a prop from a movie. It's a book.
How much? Well,
it wasn't made for the movie. It was
used in the movie. It's a prop.
Particular book was in the movie.
This is not the screen used book.
Right. So that is not a movie prop.
No. But it's a replica movie prop.
No, it's not.
It is. It's an item that was used on screen.
You remember
what
book covers? Like in school, you had to put like covers on your books, right?
Yeah,
like a brown paper bag or something.
Yep.
And,
right.
Back when Beetlejuice came out.
Uh-huh.
You know Beetlejuice, the movie with Mark.
The ghost with the most.
Marky Mark. Yep.
Yeah. They had these book covers that were the book from Beetlejuice, the handbook for the recently deceased.
Yeah, that thing reads like stereo instructions.
And I used one of those on a math book.
Yeah.
That's my story. Aren't you interested?
Hacker aliens in the chat room. L Young, storage unit owner's dream used to you too.
That's true.
Probably, yeah.
That's true. Oh man.
So you've been playing EDF 5.
I've been playing some EDF 5.
That.
I've been playing a little EDF 5. I've been waiting for Ace Combat to come out. You know what? L Young in the chat says, asks if I care about Zone of the Enders virtual reality.
Yeah.
Yes, I do, because Zone of the Enders is outstanding. And Zone of the Enders 2, which is the game that has the VR mode, is an incredibly good game. I have not gotten around to climbing into Jahudi's cockpit yet. In virtual reality.
Jahudi's
Do you get it, Greg?
I get it.
Do you get it?
Yep.
Because it looks
cockpit
like
was strangely placed in those robots.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, I guess you had a good view.
If you're fighting an enemy mech, they're probably going to be aiming for the head or the body, right?
Definitely not the balls.
You know? You don't swing.
Not unless it's a Transformers movie.
Wait, what? Oh, because of the the Devastator. The Devastator, yeah.
Is that what it was? Was it Devastator?
That had
I don't even remember.
The robot testicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Devastator. Well, because
those movies were terrible.
It was 2 wrecking balls.
Yeah, I remember.
What? Because it was Devastator, so he was construction equipment.
You don't remember this, DJ?
In the second Michael Bay, A Revenge of the Fallen, the second.
I don't think I watched that.
Well, you're not missing much.
No,
I don't think
you were actually better off than us.
In a lineup of 5 terrible Michael Bay movies.
Yeah,
that is the worst or the second worst. I mean, it's bad. I think I would consider it the worst. But the Last Night is really fighting hard to knock that one out of last place.
Okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, I need to sit down and play some Zone of the Enders VR, because those games are great.
So hey, I played a game this week.
Oh, great!
It starts with an S,
but
it's for Switch. It's called Starlink Battle for Atlas, and I picked it up off the eShop because it was cheap, half off. It was $30. Yeah, and the thing about the digital version is that it comes with basically like digital copies of like most of the toys. So it unlocks ships and parts for you that are otherwise sold separately as toys. So that's cool.
So how does it play then? Because I thought you needed the toys to.
You can play it. Yeah, the way you play it is you can switch parts on the fly in the option screen.
Okay.
Switch parts.
Yeah, that game doesn't require you to buy the toys.
No.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It does not require you to have the toys.
That means I will pick it up when I see it cheap then.
Well, because I've heard it's good. Version, I think, does.
No, I'm saying the digital version though, because I've heard it's good.
Version does not. I mean, it doesn't require you. It's like why am I blanking on the name of that game?
I don't know.
You know that the Activision game with the Spyro ripoff thing that
Skylanders is
Skylanders. Yeah,
it's not a Spyro ripoff. It's Spyro is in the game.
Spyro's in the game.
Spyro the game. The game was called Spyro's Adventure. That was the subtitle of the first one.
I know.
Not a ripoff.
You can like scan the toy and have it whatever in the thing, and you don't like need the toy again. Anyway, it's kind of similar with Starlink. It seems, and you can play it without needing the toys. Right. And the digital version, you can just select whatever parts you want.
Saw those toys everywhere, and all I can think of was like, have we not learned yet?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right? Apparently, we did learn though, because Starlink was super discounted.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want.
They do look cool.
Yeah,
I kind of want to get the physical Switch one though, just because it comes with that
the
R-Wing. Yeah, it comes with the little R-Wing toy.
Yeah, and the
looks really neat.
I'm early on in the game, but the cool thing about it is you can select, of course, various characters, including Fox McCloud.
Right.
And when you do, because of course I did, it starts like the opening cinema of the game, and it works Fox and friends into the story of
Fox
the game.
and Friends.
Fox McCloud and Friends.
It becomes just as like a right wing.
Suddenly, yeah.
No, weird intro for this spaceship game.
I know.
Slippy, we gotta keep defenses up so we can get the wall built to keep Andros out.
But it works them into the game.
But they're in spaceships.
Into the cutscenes. So
it's a really high wall.
Works them into the cutscenes, and
yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And even throughout the game, like there's a lot of voice acting with Fox, and I mean the whole game suddenly becomes a Star Fox game.
The first instruction is to take the left wing off the ship.
Bring Gamut.
And of course, they do a barrel roll and all that stuff.
Of course.
Nice.
Yeah. But the control is good. It's I've done a little space combat, and that's been fun. Done a little planet traversal. That's also pretty good. Feeling good on the Switch. So yeah,
I want to play it because I've heard a lot of people say that it's a good game.
Yeah.
And I haven't played something like that in a while, so
I think you might like it.
Yeah,
I think
I
you
normally like the space combat games. I'm a big fan. So
yeah,
but knowing that about the digital version, because honestly, I'd heard that it was good, but again, I go to the store and see it's like, oh my god, like all these little plastic pieces again. Yeah. I don't want to do it. I don't want to clutter it all up.
Well, I think
and even if you also sell like a $20 digital version of the rest of the toys.
Oh really?
So you get like a lot of them. You can finish the game. Like it isn't required for you to have the rest of them, but you can if you want.
Yeah, well, I'll keep watching for a digital sale. I want to go a little cheaper, but
even if you buy the physical version, I don't believe you're locked into having to buy all the toys.
I honestly don't even want the toys to come with the physical version.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't even know if that's the case, but yeah, because I didn't buy the physical.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want that little R-Wing model.
Yeah.
I don't much care for any other stuff.
That is what I was playing this week.
Well, all right.
Greg, what do you got for us?
Good.
I finally finished Quantum Break. Remember that old Xbox One? It wasn't a launch game.
We talked about it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So I finished it. I really liked it. I didn't like it as much as Alan Wake because it was Remedy Entertainment, and I currently the game actually started life as an Alan Wake sequel at one point.
I think you're right.
But I was a huge fan of Alan Wake, and so this is just one of those things where it's like, why haven't I never played that? Why haven't I ever played this? And as I played it, I really liked the time manipulation stuff. It was great. So basically, it's just a run and gun for the most part. It's a Remedy game, so it's you're wandering around some pretty nice levels, and if you want, you can find dozens of like emails and posters and things like just stuff to look at to fill out the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll get into a battle, and it's just a cover shooter basically at that point. But you have a bunch of time-based abilities, like you can fire basically. You can create a shield around yourself. You can fire like a time stop bubble, I guess. And like it's kind of cool because if you do that with an enemy and then you fire your weapon into it like crazy, it holds all the bullets, and then when the thing finally collapses, it just does like massive damage to the enemy because all those bullets then hit them. You can stop time and run behind people to melee attack, and so it's fun. It's a fun little game. The final battle, somebody in the chat just said the final battle they hated it. Yeah, the final battle was pretty crap, but it was an interesting story if you like time travel stories, which I know some people don't, but I do.
I do too.
So I really like the story. It's got a nice cast. You got major actors from like Game of Thrones and X-Men and Lord of the Rings. Guy who plays Pippin in Lord of the Rings. No, Merry in Lord of the Rings. It's one of the main characters. And the nice thing is that it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's relatively short. It's like a dozen hours or less.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting experiment to do the episodes, the full motion video shows basically in between each level. and they were actually affected by what you did in the game. So it was kind of neat. I don't know that I want every game to be that way, but it was a cool experiment. I'm glad I played it when you could still get those episodes, because they don't stream anymore. They used to. When you originally played, you had to stream them, but now you can download all 75 gigabytes of them and play it that way. So anyway, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Remedy makes good stuff, and like I said, it's not quite Alan Wake level for me, but I'm glad I finally played it, and now I can sell it for $2 or whatever it's worth now, and free up like 120 gigs on my hard drive.
Oh, jeez.
So.
Yeah, that game was a good game, like Sunset Overdrive, that just got ignored. I think during that time, good games came out that just couldn't get over the fact that people didn't like the Xbox One hardware, right?
Yes, definitely.
So,
definitely. Yeah, it did. It came out right around the time that they were in the middle of trying to turn that all around.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is too, and I say this full well knowing that games like Spider-Man and God of War were really well received last year, but it definitely feels like a game that's of a previous era. You know, I don't know that when it came out that was the case, but like that really major shift has happened to the types of games most people seem to want to play, and Quantum Break doesn't really fit that. But I enjoyed it. It actually made me want to go back and play Alan Wake again. I don't know that I will, because I have lots of other stuff to play, but
I love Alan Wake. It's so good.
Yeah, exactly. And it's again, it's not that game, but it is fun. And if you're an Alan Wake fan, you know, and you got a dozen hours to put into something, it's worth playing for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's been on sale a bunch of times too.
Oh yeah, I mean it's old. It's like what? It's 3 years old now. So
super cheap
super cheap
on the digital store, yeah.
But download the video if you do get it. Download the videos, because the story won't make any sense if you don't watch the episodes.
Yeah.
So, the only thing that I was playing recently is I finally decided to pick up Smash Brothers.
All right.
I bought it at launch, played it for about an hour, and then never touched it again.
Okay.
And I tweeted about this yesterday, and I was surprised at the positive reactions I got to this. But man, I have no idea what's going on in that game most of the time.
But that's part of the fun of the game, right?
Well,
it's part of the fun of the game.
Is it fun?
Yeah. Are you playing it with your kids?
No, they don't want to play it.
They don't want to play
They're
it?
not interested.
Oh, really?
Interesting. That's weird.
Yeah.
Have
Just
better
not
kids.
Interested. Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, so I played it last night and I went through. I still hate the front end on those games. I still don't know where to find anything. But I played a little bit of Spirit Mode again. I also don't get Spirit Mode. I mean, I get it. I shouldn't say that, but I don't know what spirits I should be assigning when I'm playing. And I was playing
what sort of benefits you want while you're
playing. Okay, but I guess
right?
what I'm saying is like because
they have a recommended. Don't they have one that like
auto do it for you?
Yeah.
Well, I know that, but I kind of want to understand why, personally, because I find that right now, like I started out with an EV spirit, right?
Yeah.
So it's the highest level spirit I have. So when I get it to recommend, it just constantly recommends EV.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because I just happen to be getting into one battle after another where EV is the best spirit to have, or is it because EV is the highest level spirit I have?
It's probably the former, because when I play, I have many spirits of many different levels,
and it still always gives you EV.
No, it actually very rarely at this point suggests the highest level one.
Okay,
and instead will recommend spirits that have benefits suited to whatever stage I'm on. So like if I'm on a stage that gets covered with fog, it will recommend a spirit that nullifies the fog effect, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So yeah.
And I mean, the other problem is I don't know how to play that game.
Well, you just hit buttons until something happens.
Not that hard. I found
that what I do.
A lot easier if you configure the jump to the button instead of up.
Well, I thought that the X and Y buttons were jump buttons.
They are jump buttons, but up is also a jump button. And
I knew that.
If you're like me, you hit up and you didn't mean to hit jump, and that's a problem.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. And I think for me the biggest thing is that I'm not getting. Well, I don't know how to do multiple moves. I feel like I'm doing the same like 2 moves over and over again.
Yeah.
It's all button combinations.
And
charging.
And when I fall off a level, I don't know how to save myself.
Well, it depends on your character's moveset.
Depends on how they double jump and what can be strung along with those, right?
Yeah, if you have a move that maybe does like a
twirl
nice
up,
uppercut, or a little upward twirl.
Yeah, and then that resets your jumps. You can jump out of that too.
Yep. Sometimes, depending on which character you have and what their moveset is. Yes.
This already sounds too complicated.
Just pick a character and go into the tutorial or go into
it sounds like your problem, Greg, is you don't want to actually learn to play the game. You just want the game to be.
See, I disagree with that because
I haven't tried actually learning any of my character's moves.
I think back to
I don't know how to
play. Back to like Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2.
Right.
I didn't need to sit through a bunch of tutorials to figure out how to play Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And get better at it by just playing.
Greg, here's what you do. Here's what you do. In Smash Brothers, so you let it go on the title screen, and it will show a how to play movie, which I think is also available in one of the options.
Oh, is it really?
You can hunt through it.
I was going to say, if you get an hour to sift through the options menu, you might be able to find it.
It'll basically like tell you how to do all of these things, like the basic commands, so that you won't have to worry about getting back on the stage or anything like that. It'll show you how to do all that.
Okay.
Yeah. Just do that next time.
Okay.
If you believe in yourself, Greg, you can do anything.
So mostly what I ended up doing last night was messing around with the music playlist maker.
It's so good. It's like so good.
What, like 500 hours of music in that thing? I don't think it's that much, but it's a lot of music.
Yeah.
So
it is a lot. It's got like close to like 1,000 tracks.
Jeez. It's some stupid.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's good.
But anyway, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Sorry. Well, then why don't we get into tweets?
Twiddly diddly dee. Twiddly diddly dee. Tweets. Tweets.
All righty. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Cub Life 74, who says, what game were you excited to... what game... Sorry, I'll start this again.
Go ahead.
What game were you excited...
Just read it.
What game were you looking forward to, only to be disappointed by it when you actually played it?
What Smash game Brothers. Were you excited to look forward to?
But only to be disappointed by it
when you actually played it.
That's right.
Well, I feel like we all talked about this last week when we were talking about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, that's actually,
That's a very good one.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good one.
Yeah.
Far Cry 5, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because I was a big fan of Far Cry 3 and 4 and Blood Dragon. And 5 just didn't really interest me all that much. I played some of it, but I didn't really like get into it like I thought I was going to. And Ubisoft had this thing where like Far Cry 5 was going to become all video games. It had all these different modes and extra things, and I thought I was going to get into it way more than I did. I dropped out of it very quickly.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say go back a little bit further. Tomb Raider: Angel of Darkness.
Oh yeah,
was one because I was a big Tomb Raider fan in the first game, kind of like the second game, and then as I think most of us who were gamers back then remember, the series just went to pieces pretty much after that. You know, like 3 was terrible, and there's Chronicles and some other one. They kept using that same old creaky engine the whole time, and the games were just getting worse and worse. And then they kind of killed the series. And then I think it was Angel of Darkness. I forget, it was the first PlayStation 2 game anyway. And it was supposed to be like this big rebirth. It was like, we're doing this right. We're going to reintroduce Lara, and, this is going to be a great game again. And it was just a complete disaster from pressing start. Like, it was just a terrible game. An absolutely terrible game. Angel of Darkness. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. I don't know why. That just popped in my head, dude. Being a big Tomb Raider fan.
I was looking forward to No Man's Sky.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I still like No Man's Sky.
I was looking forward to No Man's Sky, and
have you tried it recently?
I have not.
Was looking forward to Star Citizen 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had that money back.
Alrighty, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Happy Kennard, who says, "They say that Sega does what Nintendo don't."
That's right.
That's true.
They do say that. But how would history be different if Sega had done more what Nintendo did?
Nintendo did.
So what? Bullied third parties into making games only for their consoles? Is that what we're talking about?
I think what's being
hardware. I think maybe part of it is keep making hardware even though you had a failure. Is that what we're talking about?
Maybe not gone out of business. Almost gone out of business.
Have their mascot star in good games?
Ouch.
Oh,
ouch. That one hurt. But you're not wrong. He was in some good games. He was in a lot of good games. He's just in a lot of bad games too.
Early on, yeah.
Yeah.
Early on, Sonic was great. Early on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? I'm glad.
I liked Sega being Sega.
I'm glad it worked out the way it did because we wouldn't have those Mario Sonic at the Olympics games. And really,
good point.
Isn't that worth it all? Isn't that worth the death of the Dreamcast?
Sure.
That those two icons can compete in the summer games.
I don't feel like Sega could have done what they did had they not done everything that they did wrong. That's the only way I can put it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think this question is about what did Nintendo do that kept them through that Sega failed to do that made them leave hardware.
I just told you they bullied a bunch of third parties into making sure that. Oh, we don't want to talk about that, do we, Switch fanboy?
Exactly. I mean,
Nintendo trailblazed. Nintendo trailblazed. As far as rekindling the American market, that was huge. Then they took a chance there where a lot of other people wouldn't.
Right.
So, that had a lot to do with it.
I think Nintendo gets a lot of flack sometimes for re-releasing the same game over and over again, even if that's not actually true. But
yeah, isn't new Super Mario Brothers U coming out next week or something?
It is. Yeah, let me tell you about new Super Mario Brothers U and new Super Luigi U. Those are absolutely fantastic Mario platformers. And
they're
if
okay.
You missed them.
They actually are pretty good.
If you missed them on the Wii U, you definitely should play them because they are some of the best Mario stages.
If they're new to you, you should play them. I agree with that.
No, what I'm saying
having played them when they were new, I couldn't care less.
No, they are so good. And the thing about it is, I know a lot of people hate the music from the new Super Mario Brothers series, and I get that.
Oh, is that a thing?
You should, with the bop, bop, and all that.
Okay.
Stuff. You should.
Oh, now I get it.
What was it?
You know the one with the bop, bop.
Bop, bop. That's my favorite Mario song.
That's right.
Like a dying car horn.
It's the Family Guy.
Who's ready for Mario?
But really, you should do yourself a favor and try that. New Super Luigi U, I thought was fantastic. This package adds like a new character you can play as and some new difficulty for the youngsters.
Is that the like Princess Toad hybrid?
Yeah, Toadette and the Toadstool crown thing. Yeah. It's
the thing that gave us the friggin' Bowser thing?
No.
Bowserette.
Let's not speak of Bowsette, please.
Okay. I just did though.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, you should check that game out.
What if Sega had done more of what Nintendo did? Which of course refers to releasing a good Aladdin game on its system.
No, Sega did that.
Sega did do that.
I don't know.
Phil, I respect you in a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways I don't respect you too. I respect you in a lot of ways, but you'll find you're on the wrong side of history on this one. Time will prove out that you're on the wrong side of history on this one.
Time has told.
How?
Well,
what? I don't understand.
I think this question can be best answered by maybe Sega should have made a good 3D Sonic game earlier.
I would say that Sonic Adventure at the time was a good 3D Sonic game.
No. Well, there were a couple stages in there that were interesting.
Sonic Adventure 2 sucked from the moment it came out.
Sonic
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Sonic Adventure has that one good stage that everybody remembers with the killer whale.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No, see, I would say that everyone remembers that because that's the first stage.
Yeah,
and that's the end of it.
That's not because the game sucked after that. It's because nobody, all these people that remember that didn't play through it.
That's the end of the game being good.
Just like everyone who goes, "Oh, press right to win" with Sonic, only ever played Green Hill Zone.
Except in Sonic Adventure, that was the only stage that anyone cares to remember because that was the only one that was exciting or good.
Yeah.
That was the one that we were inundated with.
That's your
how many millions of times
Hoth stage? Like all the people who are like, "Oh, Shadows of the Empire was great." And it's like, you remember that first stage, that was good, but the rest of that game is hot garbage. And
but you like Hoth.
Sonic Adventure is the same deal.
I don't even agree with what you just said about Shadow of the Empire.
You like Shadows of the Empire?
No, see again, you're mixing up the heavily marketed single stage of those games as proof that they're bad games. There were I'm not saying Shadows of the Empire was a great game. I'm saying there were good sections later in Shadows of the Empire. You don't remember them because everyone remembers the hot stage.
What was the good section?
When you were flying his version of the Falcon.
Was it?
What was good about it? What specifically?
I don't know. What?
I don't remember. The space shooting.
What was good about the 15th level of Super Mario U? Can you give me specifics?
The water stage.
That was a water stage. Oh my god!
Best part of that was when you are getting right towards the center of the stage, and then it kicks in with a womp womp. Yeah, so good.
You collect that.
He did tell us about that part.
Fifth red coin. It gets pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've always had a problem with, yes, especially 3D games have aged extremely poorly.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that they all sucked. It means that they haven't aged well.
Sonic Adventure is not
There's
very good.
Big difference.
Even when that game came out, I was lukewarm on it at best.
Were you not a Sonic fan?
Oh no, I love Sonic.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore Sonic. But Sonic Adventure is kind of not great.
Okay.
No,
kind of not good.
It has not aged well. I will give you that.
It definitely has not.
Same way I don't think it was a bad game. Superman 64 was a bad game.
I took a dump on my carpet here, and that's not aging well either.
What?
Oh god,
Phil.
Yeah. Well, it's been a crazy 2018. You know, we're gonna see if 2019 can turn it around. But for now, you know.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Snowy Night Owl 5, who says, I know you guys have been excited to use the new Switch accessory, the Flip Grip.
I think we found Jeremy Parrish's alt account.
I think so. Mm-hmm. That got me to wondering, what would you say is your favorite system accessory of all time?
Flip Grip. This message paid more for.
I'm going to go ahead and say the Wavebird.
The Wavebird.
That's a good answer.
It's one of my absolute favorites.
One of my favorites, although least practical, Steel Battalion controller.
Oh yeah.
That thing was amazing.
That was pretty great.
Samba de Amigo maracas.
Yes, the maracas. That was a good time.
One.
The licensed.
Oh yeah,
licensed one
on the on the Dreamcast, not the crap they brought out for the Wii version.
Oh yeah.
That was god awful.
You know what? My hoary GameCube Super NES controllers. that came out.
Oh, those are great. Yes.
Hori brought out. They were.
Yes.
I always wanted one of those
exclusives. They were they were GameCube controllers that were shaped like a SNES controller.
Yep.
But with the GameCube button layout,
mm-hmm.
and it was they were. It was kind of designed for the like Game Boy player.
Yes.
Accessory, which throw that on there for great accessories.
Yeah. Indeed.
Actually,
or the Super Game Boy.
Let's see here.
It's a good one.
Let's see here.
What do you what do you got there?
Boom, right there.
Super Game Boy 2.
Super Game Boy 2.
It's a nice
and of course, I got the original Super Game Boy right here.
Yeah, you got to have the Game Boy 2
at my fingertips. Yes.
Yeah, Super Game Boy 2 is better.
Yeah, Japanese exclusive Super Game Boy 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have both of those right here.
But we'll work on your Super Nintendo.
I remember when the Wavebird came out. So
why Super Nintendo is modified to accept Super Famicom cartridges.
We have wireless controllers now, of course.
We do.
And it's sort of a standard thing. But back in the day, like wireless controllers were shit. They had lag.
Well, they were mostly IR controllers, right?
Mostly IR, yeah. They could get blocked easily. And then the Wavebird came out, and it was like, this is actually good. Maybe wireless controllers can be a thing that we use.
Yeah. Wavebird is fantastic.
Indeed.
So
just saying. Anyway,
there's some good. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna throw this one out there too. The Super Advantage.
The Super Advantage.
I didn't like the Super Advantage. I like the NES Advantage.
NES Advantage.
I wasn't crazy about.
Oh, I like the Super Advantage. Played a lot of Street Fighter 2 on the Super Advantage.
Yeah.
Not this
I used the ASCII fight stick. They had a different fighting stick that was like smaller and gray for the Super Nintendo that was better. Better than the Super Advantage.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Okay.
And cheaper.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I see.
Alrighty. Let's wrap up with this one. We're going to wrap up with this one.
Okay.
Hack Really a Sasquatch Shaggy who says, do you guys think
Sasquatch Shaggy?
Yeah. Do you guys think that the PS5 and Xbox 4 consoles, is it really the fourth? I guess it is. Xbox 4 consoles get announcements this year.
I've been saying the PlayStation 5 get announcements for the last 2 years. So yes.
Yeah.
Eventually you will be right.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see that stuff announced this year?
Maybe.
We're in such a weird spot though, because
right?
You have the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. They're kind of like half steps. Where do you go like above that? Where do you go above that where you can charge a premium price and then require people to buy a new hardware platform and require developers and publishers to make exclusive games or ports to a new platform?
Yeah.
Are we to that point yet?
I have no idea.
Do you want to buy a new, let's throw it out there, $500, $600 Canadian platform
nope.
in 2019?
Yeah, really?
Nope.
Are you
But I never do. I mean, I'm not, it's not, that's if it's an option between doing that and not doing it, I'm probably always going to choose the not doing it.
Not doing it.
Yeah.
What about like a new like a Switch revision? Did you buy that?
No, although that's
Switch?
The rumor, right? We're hearing now is the portable only Switch.
I haven't heard that one, but Wall Street Journal was saying there was going to be some kind of revision to the Switch hardware.
Was this in Wall Street Journal's Quarterman section?
I don't think so.
I think because Quarterman's at the WSJ now, right?
Probably. Yeah.
That's. I mean, you had to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
man.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say no, we don't hear about it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because PS4 Pro, Xbox One X are doing so well. Like, look at the NPDs from November. What was it? This is like the first holiday season where every hardware platform sold like 1.3 million units on its own, like that many units of each one had sold in 1 year.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. Like, it's a really weird time for like announcing a brand new platform and how that works with the old stuff. And
it's really, and releasing like the Pro and the One X is really kind of messed with the timeline.
Yeah, it didn't help.
I mean, the 360 and PS3 generation was longer than normal.
Yeah.
But this one has gone on longer than normal now too, but it's been bumped a couple of times tech wise. So
yeah.
It's
gonna be a weird one, but I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
I'm saying yes to a Switch revision. I think that will happen. I'm gonna say no to PS5 and Xbox 4. Or whatever that's gonna be called. And I guess that's it. Is that it?
A quick episode.
So. Yeah, that's it.
Not much going on this week, huh?
Exactly.
See, Spider-Verse just won the Golden Globe
Well deserved.
Best Animated Picture.
That's a good flick.
While we were recording, so
nice. All right,
it's a fine motion picture,
fine film that I've not seen yet.
Yeah, you haven't seen it. How do you know?
I'm saying based on your comments,
you should go see it.
Fine film.
You should go see it.
I should.
Very good.
I'm not going to.
You should go see it. Take your kid.
Maybe I won't.
She would love it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Listen to that.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
She'd probably love it. She'd probably have a blast going to go see a fun movie, but
yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Not
going to do that.
Yep.
All righty. Greg, did you want to say something? Were you looking?
Oh, I thought I was going to do it as part of the outro, but I can do that now. Okay. Hey, so I want to just announce real quick that longtime friend of the show, Rich Grisham, who works over at Out of the Park Developments. I have partnered up with them, become a streaming partner for Out of the Park Developments, where I'm streaming Franchise Hockey Manager every second Saturday on their Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/OOTP Developments.
Excellent.
So come join me Saturday nights, every second Saturday night. It'll be this coming Saturday. I'll be streaming, actually. So check out the awesome Franchise Hockey Manager and watch me learn how to play it.
And we will have to link to that in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find Generation 16 episodes from Mr. Greg Seward.
I started editing video for the latest one this past week. So
very nice.
Excellent. You'll find show notes and links to the things that we talked about during each episode. And
will you find links to like New Kids on the Block for this episode?
Yes, please.
I guess.
Oh boy.
I mean, technically we did talk about it, so maybe.
I did.
Yeah. And you'll also find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode and video games in general, and whatever else you want to talk about with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up the Apple Podcast application. You can also head over to the App Store and invest $1.99.
Cheap.
The Player One Podcast iPhone application, which gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, the what have you. You also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone telephone users, Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
Right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. Apparently, we're not on Spotify.
So I hear.
Apparently.
DJ was all like, "Oh, we're totally on Spotify," and then one of our listeners tweets us and is like, "Dude, you guys ain't on Spotify." So
Greg told me we were.
CJ told me.
I didn't say anything.
By incompetence.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness. So we're not on Spotify. So Spotify's garbage anyway.
Wow. And now we'll never be on Spotify.
Did I just ruin that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Edit it out. Edit it out and post. We'll do that. Yay. You can also watch archives of our show and check us out live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast.
P1 podcast.
Yeah. And if you've liked what you've heard, and how could you You can also head over to patreon.com/P1podcast. Throw a few shekels our way because there is a really cool looking Lego set coming out in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Yeah.
It's Welcome to Apocalypse Berg. It's based on the new Lego Movie 2.
Well, yeah, I'm seeing all those sets are starting to hit.
Yeah. This is the big $300 set. It's
Jesus Christ.
It's like it's part of the city, and it's got like the destroyed Statue of Liberty on there.
Yeah, when you first showed a picture of it, I was pretty sure it was a Planet of the Apes set.
Right.
Like, well, that's interesting.
It's it's an homage, parody of.
I think you mean homage.
Yeah. It's a homage.
It must be Italian.
So I want that. So if you send us money, I can get it.
Not true.
Not true.
That is not what we spend our.
But you know what you will get if you back us at the $5 level.
Patreon supporter. What do I get?
You get one of them after shows where we talk about trivia, and tonight we're probably going to talk about TV shows and stuff because I don't have anything to talk about.
Goodness,
we don't got a game, so it'll be an enlightening discussion of New Kids on the Block.
Oh.
Which Wahlberg was in New Kids on the Block?
We'll talk about it on the after show.
Marky Mark's brother. I know that much. Johnny? Was Johnny a new kid?
Johnny Mark?
Yeah, Johnny Mark and his bunch. They all had bunches. I believe all the Wahlbergs had their bunches.
Probably.
All of them around. Oh, and hey, if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com and you'll find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding, and it is outstanding, show about North America's favorite second banana, home of the inferior Aladdin, the Sega Genesis.
Thanks, Phil.
Very welcome. CJ!
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Mitch.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you, Gregory.
Thank you, Phil.
And thank you to our lovely listeners and our lovely Patreon supporters. And we will see some of you at our after show.
Indeed.
Join us, won't you?
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Toodles.
Toodle-oo.